Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, your number one source for income-oriented investing. And today we're going to take a look at Global X Canada because they launched 11 new ETFs, 6 of which are actually income-oriented covered call ETF, which obviously interests us, right? So we'll go through all of them. We're going to do a specific focus on the covered call ones, of course. So let's go through them, everyone. This is the press release, by the way, that I'm looking at here. You could find it on Global X website. But, and just a trick, because we're going to go through the covered call ETFs first. That's definitely the priority for this channel. But they have a very interesting search tool, which I really like. If you just go on their website, you click on our ETFs. And if you just want to list or find just the covered call ETFs, you could just put covered call in here and you'll actually get the full list of covered call ETFs here. And if you do enhanced covered call as well, you'll get the enhanced or the leveraged covered call ETFs that Global X Canada has to offer. So I just wanted to let you know that here you'll find that in the Our ETFs tab of their website. And by the way, they also have the 2024 distribution summary for their ETFs as well. So you could actually see how the ETFs were taxed in 2024. So let's get through it, everyone. Let's go through, first of all, the 6 new covered call ETFs. The first one is RSCL. This is the Global X Enhanced Russell 2000 covered call ETF. So it's basically an enhanced or 25% leverage version of their existing RSCC ETF, which is the Russell 2000 covered call ETF. So it's basically RSCC with 25% leverage, if you will, an enhanced version. So that is for the first one. And we know that the Russell 2000 index, by the way, really focuses on the small cap segment or the small cap equities in America. Right, so you have the smaller cap companies here, but still index-based, very, very popular index, the Russell 2000, with 2,000 companies technically, and the management fee for this one is 85 basis points. So again, RSCL, a enhanced or a leverage version, 25% leverage version to be precise, of their existing Russell 2000 covered call ETF, RSCC. The next one, I know many of you have been waiting for this one, including myself, is GLCL. This is the Global X Enhanced Gold Producer Equity Covered Call ETF, which, just like RSCL is to RSCC, GLCL is a 25% leverage version or enhanced version of GLCC. So GLCC, very, very big and popular covered call ETFs. You see that it has, I think it's Global X pretty much biggest covered call ETF in terms of AUM at just under 350 million here. And this one has been doing very well recently because gold has been doing very well, obviously. And if we look at what, just like the name says, right, gold producers, if we look at the holdings, you have some of the biggest gold producers in this ETF. So GLCL is basically an enhanced or 25% leverage version of GLCC. And by the way, the first distributions for these ETFs are going to be declared in May. So obviously, we can't know what the first distributions are going to be, but if you're really curious about them and you want me to do another video to cover all the first distributions for these new ETFs, let me know in the comment section below. So again, GLCL, an enhanced or 25% leverage version of GLCC, which focuses on gold producers, right? Gold producers. Next one is, and these are brand new, the next two is RNCC and RNCL. So RNCC, brand new one here, the Global X Equal Weight Canadian Telecommunication Covered Call ETF. So this, just like the name says, this is going to focus on Canadian telecoms, basically 3 of them. It follows an index, but it's basically going to be an equal weight or an approximately equal weight of Bell, TELUS, and Rogers, and they're writing covered calls, of course, on these stocks. So the management fee is 39 basis points, and then you have RNCL, which you probably guessed is a 25% leverage version or enhanced version of RNCC. Which, of course, I should have mentioned this at the beginning, when you're adding 25% leverage to something, everyone, yes, you are increasing your volatility or your risk by approximately 25%, but also your potential performance for the future as well, right? So RNCL, a leverage version. And this one, the management fee is going to be 65 basis points, a little bit higher than the non-leveraged version. But this one really focuses on the Canadian telecom companies. So a pretty new idea here. First of its kind, I would say, in Canada, that, covered call ETF that only focuses on the three telecoms. All right, moving on to the Global X Bitcoin covered call ETF, BCCC. So and by the way, they also have a .u version. So they have BCCC and BCCC.u. So the .u version means you could buy and sell it in USD currency, get your income in USD, but nonetheless, they are both listed on the Canadian stock market. So BCCC is going to be Bitcoin, or physical Bitcoin, basically, and they get that exposure. I just checked with Global X today. They get that exposure via a spot Bitcoin ETF. So right now they're going to start writing covered calls on the biggest and most liquid one when it comes to options, IBIT. So the BlackRock IBIT ETF in the US. So currently they're writing covered calls on that ETF, which is basically giving them or granting them their Bitcoin exposure. So this is BCCC. The management fee is 65 basis points. And what makes BCCC unique, very unique, is that it's going to have a semi-monthly income designed to provide consistent semi-monthly income with opportunity for growth. So you're going to get basically 24 distributions a year and 2 distributions a month. So it's kind of like simulating that you're getting a paycheck. Sort of. So this is very, very unique. So this is one of the first in Canada, one of the first, if not the first, semi-monthly distribution ETFs. And this is going to be writing covered calls on Bitcoin. Like I mentioned, they have a .u version, and they also have an enhanced or 25% leverage version, which you probably guessed, BCCL, right? Just like most, or if not all, Global X's enhanced covered call ETFs, you change that last C to an L and you'll get the enhanced version. So BCCL is going to have a management fee of 85 basis points, and it's also going to have semi-monthly distributions as well. And they have a .u version of BCCL as well. So just in case you want to trade it in USD currency, they do have a .u version of that one as well. Now moving on to the non-covered call ones. So they have quite a few. They have the REIT one. I can't believe this stock symbol wasn't taken already, but good on them for grabbing it. So this is the Global X Equal Weight Canadian REIT Index ETF. So this is not a covered call one. This is more of a regular growth ETF here that's going to focus, just like the name says, on Canadian REITs, and it's going to be equal weight. And a very interesting thing to know for this one, it's going to have a 0% management fee until the end of the year, until December 31st, 2025, and then it's going to go to its a management fee of 0.25% or 25 basis points. So if we look at the holdings for this one, the top 10 holdings, none of this should surprise you. It's really some of the top, if not the top, REITs in Canada, like Choice, Canadian Apartment REIT, H&R, Dream, Boardwalk REIT, Granite REIT, RioCan, etc., etc., etc. So this one really focuses on Canadian REITs, Canadian real estate. Next one is the SHLD or SHLD ETF, which focuses on defense companies. This is the Global X Defense Tech Index ETF, which focuses on defense companies that are involved with military systems, technology, hardware, things like that. And if we look at the holdings, because if you want to know what kind of companies they're in there, you might see that this is an ETF that holds another ETF called the Global X Defense Tech. So when it comes to this ETF, they're really referring to the SHLD, the same stock symbol on the American stock market, also from Global X, the Defense Tech ETF. So that is what this one holds. So you could think of this one, I guess, as a Canadian version of this ETF. So if we look at what kind of stocks this ETF has, you could see them here. So there's a lot of defense companies, stuff that has to do with military defense, things like that. So very interesting concept here. So SHLD for your defense tech exposures. Next one is MEDX. That's a stock symbol. This is the equal weight Global Healthcare Index ETF. So just like the name says, it's going to focus on healthcare companies, up to 20 big or large global healthcare companies. Management fee is 40 basis points. I'm sorry, I apologize. I didn't discuss the management fee for SHLD. It's 49 basis points. So for the healthcare one, it's 40. And if you look at some of the big or some of the top holdings, you'll recognize a lot of the companies: Lilly and Abbott and Novartis and Vertex Pharmaceuticals. So really going to focus on the big healthcare companies globally. And again, this is a regular growth or index style ETF, not a covered call ETF. They have UMRT or UMART, which is the Global X Equal Weight US Groceries and Staples Index ETF. So this is an interesting concept. It's going to focus, first of all, it's going to have a 25 basis point fee. And if we look at the stocks, there's only 4 stocks in here: Kroger, Walmart, Costco, and Target. So really the big groceries and staple companies in the US. So this is going to, have some defensive qualities. Of course, consumer staples is normally considered a more defensive equity sector, and this one focuses on the US. So UMART here for your US groceries. And then there's also UBank or UBNK, that is the stock symbol, equal weight US bank. So obviously, just like the name says, this is going to focus on US banks. 25 basis points is the fee. And if we look at some of the holdings, you have JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Citigroup, Goldman Sachs. So really the big and powerful US financial companies. And again, no covered calls on this one, index or growth style ETF here. So there you have it. That's the review, everyone. So quite a lot of launches. 6 of them are covered call ETFs here. So you have, again, just in summary, you have RSCL, which is the 25% leverage or enhanced version of RSCC, which focuses on a very popular index in the US that focuses on small caps, the Russell 2000 index. We finally have GLCL, gold producer, an enhanced gold producer covered call ETF, which is basically this one here, enhanced, or with the 25% leverage. And you have 2 brand new ones here, non-leverage and leverage versions of Canadian Telecoms, equal weight, that, just like the name says, that focus on Bell, Telus, and Rogers. And then you have the BCCC and BCCL Bitcoin covered call ETFs, which focus on Bitcoin, obviously, but also have semi-monthly distributions, which is pretty cool. And then you have all the growth and index ones that we discussed. So you have SHLD for the defense technology companies. You have REIT, which focuses on Canadian REITs. MEDX, which focuses on global healthcare companies. UMART, which focuses on the top 4 consumer staple grocer stocks in America: Costco, Target, Kroger, and Walmart. And you also have one that focuses on US banks. There you have it, everyone. Give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Do you want me to make another video when all the first distributions come out for these 6 new covered call ETFs? If that's the case, let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.